Welcome back, everybody. It is Callus Crew Challenge 2, round of 32, and it is DPP action. The legendary Osgoode in action. SPL Reaper for years back in the day, but someone who claims to be retired, claims to have been retired for a long time, but somehow still manages to always linger and be around the community and be a very influential figure within the community, even if it is from the shadows. Does he still have it? Who knows? But he was really, really good at one point, and just an overall really smart guy, really good Pokemon player, even if he is supposedly retired these days. He's going to be playing on the alt High Melanie. Miss Jisoo, on the other hand, formerly known as Watchhog, really on a roll right now. Picked for SPL this year, having a very good SPL this year, and has really become a legit and established player in her own right. This is going to determine the match between these teams as well. There was an RBY match between Haru, that's Osgoode's teammate, and Alice, which is obviously Jisoo's teammate. Haru took that one down. It's not going to be on YouTube, but that is what happened. And then unfortunately in the other match, Osgoode's teammate, Haru's teammate, Lakis Klein, I don't know the reasons and I'm not going to speculate, but I guess is no longer interested in the tour and is refusing to play. So she unfortunately is going to just forfeit her match against B. And that leads us here to what's going to be the deciding match. As far as what happens after, haven't quite decided yet. If Osgoode were to win here, I guess I'll let their team replace Lakis, and she's refusing to play with someone who I deem fair, and we'll go from there. But it's an unfortunate situation, not one that I wanted to deal with, and fortunately, other than this one incident, so far it's been a pretty smooth tour, and I hope it continues on that way. If you've been enjoying the tour, please consider hitting the like button on this video, consider subscribing to the channel, please join the Discord server, link in the description, and consider donating to the tournament. It really, truly helps. The prize pool could use the help. All the information you need is in the Discord server, but it's really simple. It's simply via a PayPal donation link. With that, let's get into the set, the match-determining set between Miss Jisoo and High Melanie, that is Osgoode. Game 1 in a best of 3. Lottie Starmie lead, Quick Trickery, changing specs for Shukaberry, and we have Donphan Gaming here, which I believe, Sprinkles runs a ton of Donphan, but I know that he rips teams from Osgoode. I don't know if he steals them or if Osgoode just gives them to him, but I'm going to assume that the Donphan squads that Sprinkles likes and has run a couple times probably came from Osgoode originally. And here he is showing up with one of those Donphan squads. A lot of people, a lot of spectators in this one watching this game. Osgoode at one point was a really, really revered DPP player and is someone who is very respected as a player within the community, and people are eager to see an old legend back in action. Focus Blast connecting there, crucially, would have been very punishing if it didn't. Pretty quick one, already 4 pokes apiece on just turn 13. Flygon coming in, and that is an over prediction T-Wave. And he's just going to U-turn out. Suicune coming in to threaten the Donphan. And he's going to Calm Mind on the switch, threatening an Ice Beam on the Lottie. But he's going to Calm Mind up right alongside him. Not for very long, though, because an immediate critical hit Ice Beam comes down. Hydro Pump going to miss through the imperfect accuracy and the paralysis, but again, it's an over-predict T-Wave. Hydro Pump this time connects for 70%, and he T-Waves again. There's the U-turn. Am I dumb? Was he stuck on T-Wave? He was stuck on T-Wave with specs. My bad. Rapid Spin. EQ, Ice Beam, respectively. Man, Donphan's special defense is so bad. You see how much that Ice Beam did? Gonna go for Ice Shard there. Maybe he gets a full para? Oh yeah. Lati does not move. However, he overpredicts EQ. Healing Wish comes down. Kuhn is good to go. And that Ice Shard is not going to get the job done. Earthquake is going to do a little bit more, but Kuhn is pretty set up at this point. Last poke. Shedinja? Sword Stance What did I just watch? What did I just watch? He's going to Shed Ninja, Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak to take out the Gar. And it wins. There's no... Yeah, neither player brought sand. There's no hazard, which explains the weird double spinner here. And yeah, apparently neither of these Mons have a move that can touch Shedinja. Wow. It's crazy. It's a gimmick Mon in... I mean, it got introduced in Gen 3, but in every tier since then, it's just been a pure gimmick silliness Mon and like a meme, but it just won a very important match. Yeah, the Shadow Sneak got him, took out Gar, and I guess Flygon and Kuhn both couldn't touch it. It also just dies to hazards, but like I said, double spin. And there must have been some weather changers in here as well, because it would just die to sand also. What a funky team from Osgoode, but yeah, Shedinja in the back gets the W. Kind of taken aback by that. Don't know that I've ever seen it in a serious match of DPP, or ADV for that matter, but it gets the W. Well, hopefully that doesn't tilt Jisoo. She's going to have to win 2 in a row to get her team through. Or if Osgoode wins Game 2 or potential Game 3, his team's going to go through, and they'll have to find a third person to play this tournament with. Here is Game 2. Switching those sides for continuity, it'll be Osgoode under High Melanie on the top, and Jisoo, formerly Watchhog, on the bottom. Toxic going to connect with the Hippowdon here. Hippow. There is the body slam. Oh no! Oh, I just narrated one of these. No! Is it DPP stall on stall? How could this happen? I've been narrating for like 4 hours straight. It can't be DPP stall on stall. I can't do this right now. It's like past 1 in the morning. How could this happen? Ugh. Life is tough. But I think we've walked into stall on stall. Hopefully it's a stall on stall that finishes in like a reasonable 50, 60, maybe 70 turns. Rather than like north of 100. DPP in particular, maybe GSC as well. But, I mean, I guess every tier can be guilty of it, but the DPP stall-on-stall games that I've watched in particular really feel like progress is at a snail's pace. Like, progress is very, very slow, and, like, stuff has a really hard time killing other stuff. Like I said, that general statement about stall-on-stall could probably be true to various extents in any gen short of Gen 1 where stall doesn't exist. But it feels to me like in other tiers, ADV, Black-White, Oros, where it's easier to make some amount of progress. It doesn't feel like things are just hard-walled indefinitely by other things. But like DPP, you get this. You get Clefs tossing each other with no end in sight. You get Skarmories staring each other down. You get defensive Rachis doing nothing to other defensive Rachis, and then after 15 Iron Heads and Body Slams, you just wish the damage away. It's rough. Starmie coming in here, possibly getting rid of hazards. We don't actually know if there's a ghost or not for Jisoo. There's Rotom, and that is going to be T-Waved on the way in. Referencing the Shed Ninja in the nickname here. That's cute. She went and changed the nickname in between games. You know, I'm going to bet that Osgoode is not going to opt to bring Shed Ninja a second time, but pretty funny. Ugh, spare me from the clef on clef seismic toss fest. There must be something better I could be doing with my life. Starmie gets Warwinded out. Ooh, there we go. That's something a little juicy. How about a Rhyperior? I know that BKC is a Rhyperior fan in DPP. Apparently Osgoode is as well. I think it's like UU, but yeah, that's one way to potentially break through on an otherwise very stally team. Might be a little para spam built in here for Osgoode and trying to get Rhyperior or perhaps something else on the back online. You just paralyze a bunch of stuff and you get your slow, heavy-hitting Rhyperior to smash through things. I'm fond of that strategy in ADV as well. I like teams with like T-Wave Star, T-Wave Bliss, and then you have like slow meta, like slow 4-attack Pert, physical Tar in the back, mixed Tar in the back, whatever. I like that strategy. Just T-Wave all the things and then let your big boys do their work. I think that is a perfectly fine way to play the game. However, I think my wish will not be granted. My wish of, let's wrap this up within like 60, maybe 70 turns at most, that's not looking too probable at this moment. We've got ourselves a 6-6 with 3 unrevealeds, and we are coming up on turn 70. That doesn't bode too well for me, now does it? Got to be tricky about when he gets it in. Got to be kind of ninja-esque with that, but the Rhyperior does have potential to do some real damage and move this game forward, as does the Flygon here. Well, Draco Meteor missing certainly doesn't help. Zapdos would have taken a lot from that. But we're going to go for Roost. So full team revealed for Osgoode. And there is still one hidden poke in the back for Jisoo. Knockoff removing lefties will certainly speed things along and make Zapdos a not as good wall. It is also going to be paralyzed now. And we end up with the ever-riveting Clef on Clef temporarily as Flygon comes in. Decent chunk on Earthquake there. Loses Life Orb to Knockoff, but does get a Roost off all the same. And here comes Hippowdon into an EQ. And that will result in a knockout, finally. Only took 77 turns, but there is a KO and Jisoo with the lead. Shadow Ball there, immune. Fairy doesn't exist yet. Clef is just normal, and Ghost doesn't touch it. Decent Earthquake there. S-Toss in exchange. Nothing preventing a Roost here, but going to play it aggressively. And Clef now in danger. And now it's going to be a Roost on the switch. Still love the name here. Shed Ninja filled. Real cute. Wake up, rest, sure. See if he finds something other than Shadow Ball in his sleep. There's Zapdos. And it's going to be a blanked EQ, but remember he's faster because of Para. So he can kill him with Draco Meteor if he doesn't miss for a second time. but he misses for a second time. That enables the roost, and out goes the Flygon. Flygon on Clef yet again. Probably just going to be a roost turn. And it is. But it looks like Jisoo is going to be able to eventually punch through this, whereas it does not feel like Osgoode is making any forward progress. He hasn't really been able to sneak in that Rhyperior too reliably here. And the Flygon seems like a pretty good threat. There's the Surf. Flygon in again. And we're back. Yeah, I mean, Flygon's low at the moment, so maybe if Osgoode can snipe it out, maybe he can win the game that way. Start by killing the Flygon, find opportunities for the Rhyperior. I guess we're not done quite yet, but we are over turn 100 now, with only one knockout and still a hidden poke in the back for Miss Jisoo. Flygon sneaks in. It's going to be a soft-boiled. And that will enable a roost. But the Rhyperior reappears. Going to go for Mega Horn, which would have done a decent chunk there. As we see now, 53%. But the first one did miss. Does not go for the follow-up Mega Horn. Rocks do come down. Of course, we know that Osgoode has a spinner. And Rhyperior reappears. What shall it do? Go for Rock Slide. Sure. Rock Slide again. Para flinch action. And gets the flinch. And that'll do it. Bronzong going to go down. Osgoode fighting his way back. Tie ball game 5-5. Draco Meteor there going to get him when combined with the sand. So all hazards going to have to stay for Osgoode. But Mega Horn there is going to get him. Finally some progress. 4-4. And we still have the hidden poke for Jisoo on the bottom. Wonder what she's got in the back there. It's probably really obvious. Osgoode probably knows. I just don't know the tier well enough. But Rhyperior's at 1%. And, well, to be fair, Skarmory's at 0%. Gonna get him with Rock Wrecker and get HP back. I've never heard of the move Rock Wrecker. Don't know what it does. Hopefully you guys do. Regardless, 3-3 situation with Rhyperior down. Last poke was Lottie in the back for Jisoo. 2 hidden powers on Rachi. Does not kill, but leaves it at 1%. There's CM. Body Slam, fishing for a Desperation Para, which he does find. And he gets the wish, so maybe he can Iron Head now. The skill move. Does not get the flinch, but does survive the hidden power. And down goes Lottie, leaving us in a 3-2 with Osgoode in the lead at the right time. But the Iron Head variance doesn't cooperate this time. Shadow Ball gets him in his sleep, leaves us in a 2-2. There's Thunderbolt and Roost. Zapdos was paralyzed at one point, but now he's not, and now he is again. Nice grindy game here. I believe the longest DPP game we've had thus far. And by thus far, I mean we're only in the first round, so who knows. But longest DPP game of the tournament up to this point, for whatever that's worth. Could have a grindy late game here. Both of them being paralyzed is a bit awkward, though one of them can full para and the other cannot. Well, Clef dies to a crit. That should speed things along. If Osgoode gets this here, series and match is over. If Jisoo pulls this out, and she's just got the Rotom here, Rotom Frost, if the Rotom Frost gets it done for Jisoo, she will send us to a third game. And if there is a third game, I hope it's at least this length, if not double. There is a world here where the Rotom wins, actually. Yeah, There's a chance. There's a chance. Gonna be close. Can go either way, but there is a world where the Rotom gets it done. Certainly, crit discharge helps. I am just gonna go ahead and go to hyper fast here. We are going through the motions. There's not a lot of decision making for either one at this point. Every turn is relatively straightforward, so I want to get this done and either move on to a game 3 or move on with my real life evening. Heal Bell, of course, can get the Zapdos all good to go at least a couple times. 8 PP for Heal Bell. It's close. Could come down to PP here. Clefable's going to die, so Zapdos on Rotom is the final one-on-one here, and Zapdos is paralyzed. There you go. Sleep Talk Shadow Ball. It is going to be a Jisoo victory 167 turns later, and she is going to send us to a third game that will decide the outcome of this match. Who's going to go through to the next round? Is it going to be the Gay Gang, or is it going to be the Discord Name Changers? One game will decide it all. Final game of DPP between Miss Jisoo and Osgoode on the alt Hey Melanie, or Hi Melanie rather. Rachi on Rachi. Going to start things off with a trick, trading Choice Scarf for lefties. And we've got two paralyzed pokes staring down each other. Fire Punch comes down. Rock's established. Heal Bell takes care of all the bad stuff on Osgoode's end. Substitute for Loom. Insta-popped. Spore is going to work here, and Magic Guard does not make it. So even though you're slept, you're like not really slept, and you still get to act. It's pretty fucking broken, but at least it's not that level of broken. He goes for Wing Attack there, which Loom is 4x weak to and not interested in taking, obviously. So Switcheroony, switching for both, in fact. Nobody really happy with their matchup, but finally Jirachi comes into a Seed Bomb. Going to go for a Fire Punch. And back we go. Starmie comes into a Thunder and gets paralyzed. Not a good turn for Osgoode at all. And he's fully paralyzed. Very poor sequence there for Osgoode. Hydro Pump coming down for Jisoo. Rachi might die to another one. Going to go for Body Slam. No, a worse damage roll. Last one did 43. This one only does 40. And the Jirachi survives at 1%. However, through multiple Body Slams, power never came. So, straight up advantage for Jisoo. And we see another DPP Registeel here. I don't know what I don't know. I don't feel like this Pokemon is popular in this tier, like this has been a thing, but maybe this is the latest frontier of DPP. One way or another, we've got ourselves a 5-5 game, and we have a Togekiss trying to get some hacks going here. Gets out of the way of a Bullet Punch, especially when the Scizor does have the bonus to its attack via Swords Dance. Healing Wish is going to make the Scizor fine and dandy again, but it's going to be insta-paralyzed. S-Toss and Swords Dance, sure. And Gliscor comes in now. Bullet Punch has priority regardless of the fact that it's paralyzed, so that's what he's going to go for. EQ. And another dance. Bullet Punch would be devastating at this point as long as he doesn't full para, which he does not. And there's a quick attack as well. Huge damage here. 2 kills and then a big chunk into the Registeel, who establishes rocks. Leaves us in a 3-3 situation, unrevealed in the back for Jisoo. There's Protect. And a full para. S-Toss and Hydro Pump, sure. Registeel very tanky. Might even live another Hydro Pump. It's going to be a damage roll. Doesn't go for it. Simply a CM for Jisoo, which Hercoon survives. And of course the Hydro Pump now kills with the Calm Mind boost. So now Togekiss comes in for the revenge kill. There's Meteor Mash. Gonna go for Air Slash here. Meteor Mash again, prompting a T-Wave. Gonna have to get there on the good old Paraflinch strategy. You know, in the variance tier, in DPP. Paraflinch. Yep. Paraflinch indeed. And all that's left is for Togekiss to outspeed the Loom, hit it with a 4x weak Air Slash, and there it goes. It is going to be the legend himself, the air quotes retired Osgoode, getting the W over Jisoo here and sending his team, the Discord Name Changers, or at least 2 members of it, into the round of 16. They are going to have to get a different third member, which is not the way this tournament was intended and not something that is within the rules. But that's just going to be the only way forward. They can't just have a third player who concedes and will not play going forward. And I don't think it's fair to disqualify the whole team when they played and won their matches. It's a mess. It's not what I wanted. But that's what's going to have to happen. They're going to have to replace a player. It's going to have to be someone I approve of. As of the time of this recording, unknown who that's going to be. But we are going to try to figure that out and go forward. I'm tired, guys. I've been narrating for hours and hours and hours straight. I mean, legit, like 4.5 hours straight I've been doing this. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. A lot of time and effort have gone into this tournament. I emphasize again, not for my sake, for the players. Please consider donating if you have the means. Appreciate you guys watching. I will see you in the next video.